Hi, I'm Joseph, and welcome to Flew the Coop. God, when am I going to learn to hit the record button and make sure it's recording? Good morning. It is a Thursday morning here at Flew the Coop, and I'm prepping for Texas. And I wanted to talk about the JetBoil that I've had for about 5 years now. It's the JetBoil Flash, and so I'm going to give you a 5-year review of this JetBoil. I think it's a great device. There have been a couple of quirks that I'll talk through, and hopefully you find this informative. So here is the JetBoil, handy little device. Boils water in about 3 minutes or less. Has a neoprene cover. This plastic piece here, you'll see in a moment, turns orange to indicate when the water is truly boiling. Has a handle, lid with a pour spout here, and here is a plunger for when you want to make French press coffee. And down here on the bottom, this comes off, and this just acts as a cup. So I've taken the lid off and the cup off, and inside I have a orange stand for the gas canister. I'll show you that. And then there's the flame base right there. That comes on out. And if you have the right size gas canister, you can actually fit it in here as well. And there's also the filter. Well, let's try that again. That's the filter for the French press coffee, which I will not be making this morning. I will be making my oatmeal. So the way this puts together is on the bottom here. This just flips out. Sorry, trying to do this one-handed. And then that right there just screws onto a gas canister. I have a little larger canister, so this one obviously does not fit into the JetBoil itself. The smaller ones, you can contain all of this into one piece. And I'm not going to bore you, but I will be screwing this onto the canister. And then for additional support, this comes up, these 3 legs come out. And then these pieces right here, the canister pops into. So I have the legs on this base. Now something I've found out is that, of course, you can buy JetBoil gas canisters and it pops right on. This is Primus gas and it pops right on. But with the Coleman gas canisters that you find in Walmart, these are just a smidge larger than like the Primus. So it will go, but it's going to take some additional effort to pop this stand on. And you don't have to use this stand if you feel comfortable that that's a sturdy enough base for what you're doing. That's fine. It's up to you. So I have my lid on here, and you see the lid has a nice pour spout. There's a plunger hole right here. If you wanted to plunge coffee or make French press coffee, you put this through here, and then there's a filter right here with a little screw hole right there, and you just screw the plunger into that. Once you have the lid between the top of the plunger and the filter. Lesson learned. So I want to talk about a couple of things. There's only been a couple of quirks with this over the past 5 years. And one is that the plunger stick that you use to make the French press coffee, I cannot get it to unscrew. It could be that I'm weak. Probably is. But I can't get it to unscrew, so my plunger stick is just all one piece. Typically it does screw apart and fits inside the canister itself. And the other thing is a little trick I learned. I thought my burner was broken, so I'm going to zoom in and show you what the fix was for that. So if you ever get or have one of these JetBoil flashes, and maybe for any device, and you're pushing the ignition switch to create a spark, and let's see, where is that? Right here. See it sparking there. What was happening was I would click on the ignition switch and no flame would happen. And it just took a quick Google search. But notice this little, if it's zooming in right here, this little piece of wire right here. You kind of see it right there. That little piece of wire right there, it had, I guess, got smashed down just a smidge. So I took just a, I don't know, a little something I can get under that wire. Zoom in right there. Get under that wire just with the screwdriver, a little knife or something, and very slightly, very gently just kind of extend that wire back out over this base so that spark will be closer to the center. And that was the problem solved. My plan this morning is to eat oatmeal. It's real easy to make. I mean, you just boil the water in here, and I have my oatmeal, instant oatmeal, and pour it over my flakes. But something I've been wanting to do is do it with melted snow. And I did test this the other day, melting snow in the JetBoil. And that's what I'm going to do for my breakfast this morning. I'm going to go outside, grab some of the snow we have left over, and boil it for you. Okay, my wife just told me I shouldn't do this snow, but I'm doing it, and I'm doing it for the channel. I'm doing it for you, Flew the Coop crew. Is that what we're calling the Flew the Coop crew?
Not if you can't say it.
Okay. I can't say it. All right, so let's go get some snow. Well, you can see the snow's gone down quite a bit. Now, what I've learned from my extensive research is you want to dig through the top layer where the dust has been. And I'll put some snow in there. Now, the other day when I was testing this, it took two full canisters to get. I probably shouldn't have done that. Dang it. It took 2 full canisters to get 2 cups of water out of this snow. Okay, so I went to the sink and got the snow off the bottom. That was not the smartest thing to do. So do not stick your canister into the snow when you're going to fill it with snow. So now I'll just mount this up here and start the boil process. I'm going to do a take 2 on this because once again I thought I was recording and wasn't. Right here is the ignition switch, and here is the knob to control the gas flow. To start this, just turn the gas, push the ignition switch, and we're in business. What's nice about this switch is that you can crank up the heat, crank up the flame, turn it down, turn it down. Oh, turn it down too much. And you can kind of control your heat that way. Now I wanted to show you earlier where I thought it was recording but wasn't. It's already gone down quite a bit. Remember, we had a full canister of snow. It's way down at the bottom down there. So I am, and it's fogging over, we're going to grab some more snow, put it in there, and keep on melting. All right, here we go with round 2 of snow. I would think between the first batch and this batch, that's going to be plenty for my oatmeal. So I have my Quaker Oats oatmeal, instant oatmeal. I get a variety pack. I've got regular and some peaches and cream today. And definitely, as expected, it's taking this a while to heat up. This right here will start turning orange as the water begins to boil. And here we go, water's boiling. A little trick while we're waiting for this to boil that I actually found myself and others have told me, and I think it's actually from JetBoil's site. If you are going to French press coffee, a good place to turn the gas off is at this line right here. I guess that's the prime temperature if you want a good cup of French press coffee. And there we go. Coming up on the boil. Now, since I did get this from outside and in the snow and whatnot, I don't know how long water has to boil before it's really safe, but I'm going to go ahead and let this boil a little bit longer. Typically when I'm doing this with clean water, I go ahead and to save gas, I go ahead and turn it off once it hits. But I'll give this a few seconds of some extra boil just to make sure we've killed off the heebie-jeebies. And then I'll pour it into my oatmeal flake. Okay, so I went back and did some research on this because it was killing me. And it turns out to purify water, you want to let it boil for at least 1 minute. And here's a fun fact going back to my elevation video. If you are above 6,000 feet elevation, then to purify water, it needs to boil for 3 minutes. And if you go see that video, you'll learn that at elevation, the boiling temperature of water actually decreases, meaning the water can only get so hot. So at my house where I'm making this, the temperature to boil water is 195 degrees, and that's as hot as the water is ever going to get. So I didn't let it boil long enough to kill off the heebie-jeebies. Or did I? Okay, so that just twists around and comes off. Let that sit and soak in for a couple of minutes. And then I'll have snow water oatmeal. All right, so I suspect this is going to be a very short video. Just a quick overview of the JetBoil and what it's like melting snow. If you don't hear back from me, assume that my wife was correct. I shouldn't have eaten the snow from the deck that's been out there for a couple of days. Yeah, so anyway, I hope you found this video a little bit informative. I hope you found it a little bit entertaining. Please hit that like button if you did. If you really enjoy our content, please hit that subscribe button and help us out. And thanks for watching Flew the Coop.